Yeah, I'm involved with one of them, we call it, is Imagine Sudbury, which I'll talk about a little bit later on. Coalition for Livable Sudbury, Good Green Questions for Good Green Jobs Sudbury, and amongst other organizations too. And it's amazing. People say, why are you involved in that? You know? And I think, if you look at what we've done with Sudbury, I mean, I came to Sudbury, I think when I was 5 or 6 years old. And you know, the first view I had of Sudbury was coming into Wanapitei and Coniston, the Black Rock. And my grandparents lived for a time in Coniston. And I talked to my wife about this last night. It was hilarious. I'd go visit my grandparents in the springtime, and we'd go play in the field. And most of the afternoon was spent trying to get our boots unstuck from the mud. Finally, you get so frustrated, you take the boots off and the socks off, put them in your boots, and you walk barefoot through the mud because that's how bad it was. You go to Coniston now, and Wanapitei, you come in, and it's green. You come into Sudbury, and it's green, and that's what this whole concept is about. It's about, you know, we've made Sudbury better for the next generation, and other people have done it for us as well. The students who lined the hills, the people who had the vision of lining the hills and planting trees and native plants to help keep the soil together. We need to do that on a larger basis now so that we keep paying it forward.
What gets you involved with all these things, like poverty and the environment? You're involved with the downtown issue, with possible relocation of the trail rail lines. What moves you to get involved with all that? It take a lot of time, I would think.
Yeah, but how can you not get involved? I mean, do you belong to the community? Do you own the community? I believe I own this community. You know, I take ownership from it. And like, I clean the streets on the weekend because I believe I have ownership of that. And I don't have to be asked to do that. We just do it, my wife and I are like that. And my wife sits on committees as well. And we do because we really, really want things to work better. Like my wife is on the Junction Creek Committee. And she's so proud of the movie. They did Junction Creek, Clearwater Revival. What a nice movie. And they put that together. This is a bunch of citizens who get together and say, we need to clean this. This is not the government from on high saying, you shall do this, thou shalt do that. It's people saying, let's do this. And if you look at anything the city has, attraction-wise and greenery-wise, it's come from that. It's come from a groundswell that when it finally gets the leaders, we better do something about it. Who was it that says, I can't remember, oh gosh, it'll bother me for, never doubt the ability of a small group of people to get things done, they're the only ones who can. Margaret Mead.
Okay.
And I'm paraphrasing a little bit.
Okay.
But it's a small, committed group of people who say, we're going to get this done. You know what? It does get done.
You have a passion. Where do you want to see Sudbury go? Like, what do you see yourself?
Sudbury is a model of the world. I mean, you look at us, we were this big black hole laughed at, you know. And here we are, we're something people can look to and say, oh my God, look what they've done. And look what, they had nothing, and look what they've done. They had no trees, they had no grass, they had no greenery. The lakes were dead. And look what we have some of the best fishing in the country now. We have a city come in and it is green, and we're trying to get the city to even embark on greening it even more. We want to plant trees everywhere. And we don't need the bureaucracies to stop us. We just want to get it done. Like, we've been negotiating for a year to put bike stands and seats on the main street in Sudbury because nobody can make up their minds where they should go. Come on, let us put the stupid things in. I don't understand this whole concept of, oh wait, the powers that be have to decide what is going to happen. It just needs to get done, period. You know, if you put the seat 2 feet over the wrong way, guess what? You can move it 2 feet. Okay. But if it's not there, where are people going to sit? You know. So the bike stands they're not really good there. They need to be moved. Move them. But until you put them down, you haven't done anything. So it's this lack of vision. This everybody wants to control everything. When a bunch of citizens get together to do something, nobody controls it. You just do it.
Where do you get your energy?
Well, my mom. My mom was always full of energy. My dad too, very hardworking people and full of oomph all the time. My mother would literally send us back to bed in the morning if we got up and we were grouchy. You get up when you're in a good mood. So guess what? We learned very early on in my life to be in a good mood. So if you're not in a good mood, go back to bed. That's my attitude. You know, my dad's also got a great attitude. Everybody talks about the good old days. My dad's now 79. He said, Jerry, these are the good old days. Okay? So he's talking about, we have everything. Let's take advantage of it. Let's respect what we have. Let's appreciate what we have. Let's make it better for the next generation. At the same time, let's drag him kicking and screaming into helping us making it better. And That's what we're trying to do.
Now, the last time people heard about you, you were running in a federal riding of Sudbury.
Exactly.
And now you're going back knocking doors again.
Yes, I'm knocking doors for the progressive.
That takes a lot of time, eh?
It takes a lot of time, and some people think I'm crazy. Some people may be right.
How did you end up running for, I believe it is Hudux?
A couple of things. I guess they've been after me for a while. The provincial people have been after me, especially local people. Say, Gerry, we'd like you to run. We'd like you to consider running. I'm saying, I don't know. I really don't know if I want to do this again, because I have to tell you, I really enjoyed my experience at the federal level. So it wasn't a bad taste. I really enjoyed the door knocking, the people I met. I mean, I met thousands upon thousands of people. I've been knocking on doors like every day of the week. You know what? In all those months, like I knocked on doors from, I think it was February to whenever the election was in October, November. 7 days a week knocking on doors, and I met 2 people who were not nice to me. 2. Okay. People we disagreed with, but I'm a salesperson. Until somebody says no, you don't start selling. Okay, so we had some good conversations, and I left, and people left, and we left both sides feeling good, because hey, there's more than one side to a coin. It's actually 3, not 2. So you look at that and say, this is good. So we had some good discussion. So that part, yeah. Getting back into it, what got me back into it, I think I got pushed over during the G7, G20, and I got so upset at the provincial government passing a secret law. Like, what is this? This is not Soviet Russia. This is not communist Russia. This is Canada. This is Ontario. Ontario, which to me was the brightest light in this country, therefore the brightest light in the world. And we did that to our citizens. So we would have police beat up on our citizens because the guy's last name is nobody. If his last name was, I don't know, Dorkhead, there's no reason to beat the guy up. You would stop or arrested because you were closer to offense than what the law said, but nobody knew what the law was. That really, really, really irked me. That, to me, that was inexcusable. I don't believe we need riot police in our cities. I mean, guess what? If you dress up to go to a riot, you're going to a riot. So that's my attitude.
Okay.
Had an interest in poverty because I come from a family where I think we were on the verge of being poor for quite a few years of my growing up, but I think us and a bunch of our neighbors as well, it comes from the same place. But the involvement happens because I read a lot of things. I'm a voracious reader. When it comes to poverty, one of the essays I've just read recently, which has me excited, is called the perseverance or the persistence of poverty. And I can't remember the professor's name, but interestingly enough, he talks about 5 things that contribute to poverty. The first one is education. Well, we've said it time and time again, we need education, we need education. I still see children leaving school before they even have their grade 12. You can't work at most places without a grade 12 nowadays, so we need to do something to insist or force children to stay in school until at least grade 12 and go on to college, university. The second thing is not having worked enough. And I don't mean not having worked at all, but I mean not having worked enough or not having worked at all. So if you don't go to work, you don't develop this whole concept of wanting to work or this work ethic that we need. And so children who don't see their parents go to work or never had small jobs or part-time jobs or even tasks to do at home will probably have a hard time. The third thing is lack of knowing how to handle money. Not knowing how to handle money is a factor that some of us can appreciate. Most of us never got taught how to handle money, what the value of money was, how to save, how to budget. So people who do not know have a problem. So if you give someone $140 and needs $20 a day to live, and you give them $140 a day, if you don't know how to handle money, you might spend it one day, and then guess what? What are you going to do for the next 6 days? And that once again contributes to poverty. The fourth item mentioned in the essay is alcohol. Poor people drink more than non-poor people. And the last one is crime, disobeying the law. People who disobey the law are actually contributing to poverty. The average con man in the States, study says, spends about 52 days in jail per year. The average car thief about 160 some days a year in jail. So while you're in jail, you're not making money. And the other part of it is too is that they don't make as much money as they would make if they were in an entry-level job. So if we worked on those things with regards to poverty, where we're working on the causes rather than just throw money at the problem, I think we'd go a long way. There's also a study by Senator Hugh Segal last year, which showed that if we made the difference up between what people make and the poverty line, we would help eliminate poverty. At the same time, we would make life a lot easier for us.